Okay.
So we are recording now, and I just want to welcome these girls. And I know I wanted to start off, Kathy, with a huge thank you from me, but also from Teresa. Teresa is kind of had a last minute, not an emergency, but was asked to step into grandmother role tonight at 7. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, it's actually a blessing. It's a perfect night for Kathy to be speaking." She goes, "So I will watch the recording and post it." So it just worked out really well. And I just want to thank you too. For those of you who are watching this later, Kathy and I have been friends forever.
Ever.
Gosh,
But I could have always been your babysitter.
that's how we joke about our age difference. Like, you could have been my babysitter or my favorite older sister,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
barely older. And we have roomed together multiple times, and she's just an amazing person. I always describe Kathy as someone who just sparks joy. You are a joyful person, and
Thank
here
you.
she is tonight. A week is it like a week
A week
after
and a
having
half.
a
Yeah.
shoulder replacement.
Yeah. I'm
And
not looking
so
so good.
she joked today that this is the first day she's had on makeup in 10 days.
No, not makeup. Clothes.
Lipstick, clothes. Yeah. Lingerie. Yeah, we'll stop there.
Yeah.
But the fact that you would come on, I mean, this is just amazing. We really appreciate it. And Kathy has just, I don't know how many times you've been on the National Court of Sales, Kathy. Do you know how many?
I have no idea.
It's countless. It's getting like
It's in
Nora.
the teens.
Countless.
It's in the
Hi,
teens.
Di. And
Hi.
Kathy just has really, hi Priscilla. Kathy has really great sales with open houses. And because we're all kind of in that mindset, like, how are we going to do an open house in the midst of COVID? And she's going to talk to you about how she did that this spring, and just give us your best tips, Kathy. We're all excited to kind of start our strategy for holiday sales 2020. So I'm just going to turn it over to you. And then if you guys have questions, we'll just save them to the end, write them down, and we'll go from there.
Okay, that sounds good. And hopefully this is going to start making some sense, you guys.
Okay.
Okay, Susan, for some reason you're frozen, so I'm just going to keep talking.
You just keep going. And if anybody needs to mute, please do so. I'll do that too. Okay,
cool. All right. So first and foremost, thank you for asking me to do this. When Susan asked me to do this, I was in, I was like 3 days out. I went, oh, sure, I'll do this. And then today I went, oh my, okay, I guess I'm doing this.
That's how you get somebody to agree to something when they're totally doped up on
Exactly.
payments, right?
Exactly. So I really had to go back and think about what I did, but I am positive that I've forgotten some things. So feel free to jump in and ask me whatever. So first of all, I want to tell you that strategy is a decision and preparation is your friend. And because I knew I was having this shoulder surgery, a lot of what I'm telling you that I do, I've already done for, hey, Shelly, for my open house coming up in November, because I didn't know where I'd be and how my head would be. So I went ahead and did it all before I went in for surgery. So, and not even knowing, well, kind of knowing what the products were, but that's irrelevant. It's getting prepared, making decisions, and putting them into practice. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. It just needs to be done. Okay. Perfect is not a strategy at all. So first of all, I want you to kind of know that you want to work backwards. So you want to start with, how much do I even want to earn during this holiday season? And when does the holiday season even start for me? Does it start September 1st, or does it start when I can get the products on the 15th? Does it start in October? When does it start? And then begin to work yourself backwards. Okay. So that's the first thing. Once you have determined that, then you need to take a real good hard look at your inventory and the new things that are out. And I know Susan and Teresa and I have all been showing you guys all the things that are coming available to you on the 10th and 15th, and determine, what is it that I'm really excited about or not, and make sure that you have plenty based on your customer base and what you already know your customers like and love, and then get it as soon as you can get it, because it's limited and it will sell out. Okay, I'm just here to tell you it's happened every single year. So how much do you want to make? When do you want to get it all? Plan for that. All right. And then start working backwards. So I'm here to give you some hope. I have had a holiday open house every year that I've been in the business. I've been in the business for since 92. So 28 years. Okay. It's a long time. And my first one, so naive. I was just all excited and I had everything all set up and it was beautiful. And I had one person show up. Okay. So I'm like, okay. So it got better little by little by little. And I experimented with it all, you guys. You know, the percentage on the bottom of a Hershey's Kiss, you name it, I've played with it all. All right. But here's what I have found, and it was an accident that it happened. How many of y'all love shopping at Kohl's and Macy's and all those things? You know, you get your VIP discounts, you get your early bird discounts, you get all that kind of stuff. Well, I pay attention to that stuff. And all of a sudden, one day it hit me. I'm like, wait a minute. Hello. They're obviously doing this every single year because it works. All right. And it's simple. And I thought, well, why can't I do that? And of course, the answer is there's absolutely no reason you can't do that because we're independent contractors. So I started implementing just maybe 3 years ago, certainly 2 years ago, an early bird discount. My open house has consistently always been the very first weekend in November. And I've kind of trained my customers to know that. All right. And it's 3 days. It's a Thursday afternoon, it's a Friday afternoon, and it's an all-day Saturday event. So actually it's Thursday from 1 to 7 because I want to get the working girls in. And on Thursday, I offer them the early bird discount. So anything there except the half price stuff on the hearth is 20% off. I don't care what it is, it's 20% off. Okay. And let me tell you what, they come out. They have come out for that constantly. So prior to implementing this, my sales were typically about $1,500, which is nothing to sneeze at because I've always looked at an open house as a starting point to working with customers after that. You know, I have the ability, since I don't have little people at home, to keep my open house set up for a couple of weeks, and I do. And, you know, by the time I start to dust it or I need the table for Thanksgiving, it's time to take it down. All right. And I'm talking off the top of my head, but I'm also telling you, I'm just kind of focusing on this one thing. There's so many other ideas tucked inside of all of this that I do that you may have questions about, but anyway, so that before my early bird discount brilliant idea, my sales were typically about $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. The year I did it, they doubled. And I went, well, and so did the traffic. I went, okay, that worked. What can I do next?
One thing, Kathy, right? The early bird special.
Early bird discount. And I tell them that on invitation. I absolutely. Okay, so Suze, I send them a printed invitation. I send them texts, I send them Facebook posts, I send them emails, I send them videos, I send them all kinds of things. And I'll talk about that here in a minute about dripping. Because I had to get over the idea. This was the second year now. Okay, so the early bird discount was a hit. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. How often do I get an email from Macy's during the holidays? How often do I get an email from name a place? I mean, they're constant. Okay. And of course, 9 times out of 10, I just swipe and delete them until I need them. Then I know where to go get them. Okay. That's the whole idea of keeping you on top of your customer's mind. But I had to wrestle with the idea of I thought I was bothering them. Okay. And that's when I took a real hard look at how much comes in the mail, all those stuffers, all the, what we call junk email, all that stuff during the holidays. But it reminds me, they're having a sale at Macy's. I'm heading over there. Okay. And by the way, I just found out I can't drive for 6 darn weeks. I'm like, oh my gosh, frustrated. But that's okay. I don't feel like shopping right now anyhow. Okay, that has nothing to do with nothing. So I had to get over the idea that I was bothering them. So I thought, we'll just toss it out there and see what happens. So what I did is I created a series of things that I could drip on them. And I start dripping on them the 1st of October. Now, I'm here to tell you, I've already created all this stuff. I could go ahead and schedule it right now if I wanted to. I just not am quite with it yet to do that. But the first thing that goes out is a save the date. And one of my favorite things to create all this in used to be PicCollage, but now it's Canva. Canva is so cool, you guys. It's a free app. It's easy. It's really nice. And there's so many templates already created for you. You just get in there and play with it. So I've already created the save the date little picture. And then I've created my mailing. Okay. So the middle of October, and it's I know it's expensive, but it is a hard paper copy invitation to my open house. All of these things say the same thing, but there are so many means of communication, and you really don't know which one people respond to. And I'm here to tell you that people come to my open house and they go, here, I got my invitation, and they hand it to me. Now, I will tell you there's a little bit more to the invitation than just date and time.
I know we're going to want to know like what's on that. So maybe
I can forward it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So the mailing goes out the middle of October, and the mailing tells them, hey, you're cordially invited to my open house, blah, blah, blah. But I mail this to my best customers. So think about your top 30% of your customers, or maybe your top 50%. It's completely up to you. And I figure out a 5% rebate on what they have purchased throughout the year. And you would be amazed at how many people they literally walk in the house and they hand me their invitation with their dollar amount on there, and they get to shopping. And they buy stuff that maybe they wouldn't have necessarily bought. All right. I will tell you though, at the open house, most of it is for them. So there's another piece that I've learned is don't go overboard on your foofy stuff unless you're doing it non-Christmas, more generic, so that it could go again in April or Valentine's and in Easter, teachers, etc. Because the last thing you want to do is unwrap it and reset it out. I've done that too. That's not fun. Okay, so they get a 5% rebate on what they have purchased from January to the end of September. Okay, and then I print that out and I have it there with me those days that I have set up for my open house. I mail it to my best customers, and then, like I say, you've got the save the date out there. You want to create in your mind what sets you do want to do above and beyond the regular skincare, and get those ordered. Get those ordered no later than the 15th of September, y'all, because they will sell out. And keep it simple. I don't know if you've noticed, but this year the packaging seems to be mostly rose and gold with a hint of charcoal. It's beautiful. It's a classic color combination that you can use all year long. All right. So, use what the company's already giving you. There are great, I mean, the dollar store is a treasure trove, but there's also a place called Peter's Packaging that has these gorgeous boxes that are already put together that they've got. They're just beautiful. And I will tell you, if you are a member of Sam's or Costco, you will find pretty soon, you will begin finding huge 50-yard rolls of wired ribbon, a huge variety of them for like $6 or $7. So, you know, every year I get excited when they bring their ribbons out. I probably have too many ribbons, but that's okay. They're fun, and that helps you year to year if you're changing your color theme. So if you're going with the rose and gold, go with it all everywhere. You know, put pink and gold balls on your Christmas tree, that kind of stuff. Okay, make it feel like a department store. If you're going to all this effort, make it feel like a department store. All right. And it doesn't have to be your whole house. It can be just one room, but make it feel special. Make them want to come back over and over and over again because they don't know what you're going to do next, type of thing. Okay. All right. So back to the drip campaign. So the save the date goes out on the first part of October. The mailings go out middle of October. And that's when I start getting very serious about the drips. And by dripping, what I'm talking about is every other day, something will go out, but it will go out to them in a completely different form. So one day it may be an email. One day, 2 days later, it may be a text. 2 days later, it could be a Facebook post. 2 days later, it could be, you could even create, I've done this before too. I've created a little video that I've just thrown out there to them. I have created a video that I edit and update every year of what is here. It's literally going through my house and showing them slide by slide by slide with background music and all that kind of stuff. But so if you're not handy doing that, don't worry about it. It's easy on a Mac. I mean, truly it is. I don't know about Windows. I don't know about a PC, but anyhow, you're going to do that every other day leading up to the event. The day before the event, you're going to send them a text blast, and you are going to remind them, hey, can't wait to see it. And all of these, you guys, are already pictures that I've created. And you can schedule all of this now if you wanted to. Okay, except for Facebook. I think Facebook you can only do a month out, but you can figure that part out. So take time to put your systems in place. Decide, I literally write on the calendar, this is going to be a Facebook post, a text post, an email, this, you know, this, that, and the other. So literally plan it out and do it and call it done. They're going to get it and you don't have to worry about it. It clears up brain space for you to then get creative and do whatever else you need to do. Okay. Okay. That's leading up to the event. The day after the event, I text another picture to those people who weren't there or who didn't order. Okay. And those people get a, oh, I'm so sorry you couldn't make it. Let's set up a personalized appointment or a virtual appointment. Okay. And some people, you know, they do that. So with all of that in place, once I started that this past year, it absolutely blew my mind because I had had a $3,000 open house the year before. This year it was $6,000. And I'm like, what?
Nora.
Not to mention, not to mention the fact that the traffic picked up in my house and the online orders, text orders, all that kind of stuff was like much greater. So I probably went from about 20, 25 orders the year before to over 50. And I'm like, this is pretty sweet. I can do this. I can do that. I'll drive around all day long delivering stuff, you know, if you want me to. That is not a problem. So that's kind of what I have done as the main thing. That's the main thing I focus on during the holidays. There are lots of other things I do. And here's another thing I had to talk to my head about. And this was, well, if they've already purchased, why would they do a Black Friday discount? Wrong-o, wrong thinking. No, no. The same people will come back and buy more stuff because they've already been out to the wherever and they haven't found whatever and they remember what you had and they'll take advantage of that discount. And that is completely text, email, blast, blah, 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 because we always do our Thanksgiving on Friday. So Black Friday, I'm stuffing turkeys and they're buying. And I have my ringer off and I deal with it after everything's done. Okay. So those sales have doubled.
Excuse me, I've always wondered about that. I need to think differently because I'm afraid they'll go, well, why didn't you tell me it was going to be this discount before? And so I do nothing.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think, don't you usually do that thing where between this time and this time?
Exactly. And Shani has already got it figured out for you. She's already figured it out for you. You just change the date on there and then send it out in an email. And you can drip that one too. You really can, because people have good intentions, but they forget. So we need to shake that idea out of our head. There's some
very cute stuff too on the Holiday Hub.
Yes.
Calling it a pink weekend, which you can use that for Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Absolutely.
If you don't do Sundays for an open house.
I used to, and I don't anymore.
I agree with you. You end up sitting around and you're like, if you couldn't make it Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, I'm not sitting.
Let's have a day off.
Yeah.
Or just use that to fill orders and get ready.
Yeah. And that they still kind of keep coming in, but I'm physically present Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now, the virtual piece, okay, the piece that threw me for a little bit of a ringer, because I always do a holiday open house and a spring open house, and the spring open house is called IRS sale, which basically, and I tell them it's an I really love spring. That one is not a mailer postcard. It used to be, but it's not anymore. It's now strictly created in Canva. It's a text, email, blast, Facebook post, blah, 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 dripped the same way. But this time I said, if you shop during these times, you're still going to save the tax, because IRS tax, and it's always around the middle of April, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you guys are getting the idea here. And so, but they still shopped, but they shopped online, they shopped email, they shopped text, all that kind of stuff. Now, this year I have added at the bottom of my paper invitation, I have added, if for some reason you're unable to attend or not local to me, you can shop on my website. And that's another thing. You give them your link to your website on everything. Okay. Or set up a private virtual appointment, or text or email me your items and I'll figure out your discount. So I've already had one gal who I've not met yet, because I just set product on, Elle set product on the porch. And I said, hey, I do this open house. I said, you are more than welcome. It's a come and go, or if you'd rather do a virtual appointment, that would be fine too. She goes, I want a virtual appointment. I went, go. So, you have to, this is the kind of thing where you have to be willing to be a little flexible, kind of a little bit of all things to all people, because you may not have the feeling of, I can't go anywhere, but they might. So you have to really be respectful of that, but offer them opportunities to still be able to shop with you and have you. That's another thing. I find people come over and we just talk and talk and talk and talk. And on Thursdays, there's so many people in the house that they're all introducing each other and showing each other around, because I can't move. I mean, I'm just writing up orders, basically. Okay. So those are just some of my tips. You guys have any questions?
I think
I have a couple. Yeah, I do have a couple. So to just verify, your Black Friday one is like the traditional clock sale between this and this is 20.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And have you thought about how you're going to do the open house? Like you said, Thursdays, it's packed. Have you thought about how you're going to handle that with COVID?
I guess they'll just all wear their masks if they want to, but
Okay.
I personally don't, I'm, I know this is being recorded. I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
You know, if they want to come, they'll come. And
Yeah,
if they
'cause
need to wear their mask, they'll wear their mask.
Okay. So you're not going to do it's by appointment only, make a schedule an appointment to come. Yeah, good. Because I'm not, I like the open come and go as you
Yeah.
feel
Oh, yeah.
too, rather
Yeah.
than,
Yeah. And actually, Nora, it's really been interesting how it's worked out. Even though on Thursday it feels crammed, as they come in, they kind of dribble in. So I get a chance to visit with them all individually before I cut them loose, you know. And those customers that have been with me forever, those are the ones I grab hold of and go, hey, can you show Nora around? Show her what's over here and over there, and I'll be back here. But I really try to keep cycling around
Mhm.
while I'm writing stuff up. I'm tired by the end of Thursday night, but it's
Yeah.
fun.
I
Okay.
think too, if someone really had a concern about the COVID and the distancing, they're going to be a person that does the virtual
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
or set a private appointment.
Yep.
This might be a really fun time, you guys, is to buy those cute little Mary Kay masks. And
Oh,
it could be, I'm
Yeah.
doing them as a gift with purchase right now,
Yep.
but it could be really cute. Everybody gets a gift for coming, and it's this mask.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's assuming, Lord help us, we're still in the midst of COVID, you know, but if it's the first weekend of November,
Yeah.
well,
It could still be in the middle of COVID. I toyed with the whole idea because I know the election is the 3rd and my open house starts, and that's a Tuesday. My open house is on the 5th. And I thought, well, you know what? I can't affect the election other than my vote one way or the other. And this is going to be a politically free zone. We're just going to have fun, you know, and I'm going to keep it the same weekend I always had it.
I can't imagine, I don't know that the election would have a thing to do with it.
I don't think
Keep
so.
it politic free.
Exactly.
What were we going to
And-
say, Nora?
The other question, so Kathy, what is your strategy for doing it the first week of November as opposed to the second? Because I've always traditionally done mine the second.
Uh-huh.
My first one I ever did was the 3rd, and that was too close to Thanksgiving, obviously. So I just bumped it up to the second. So is there a reason you do first versus second?
I like to give myself more time to follow up.
Okay.
And it's still over a payday, pretty much. I get the middle of the month thing because it coincides with payday, but to me that gets too crammed up against Thanksgiving
Mm-hmm.
and the Black Friday sale and all that kind of stuff. I have tried it in October and that's just too early. So for me, this just became a good compromise.
And I guess then you don't feel so bad about doing a Black Friday sale 2 weeks
Right.
later. Because
Right.
I'm with Susan, like I've stopped doing Black Friday because
Yeah,
you know,
there's a
Close to
fortune
what
to
I
be
just
made on
did.
Black
Yeah.
Friday.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, normally my Black Friday sales, while I'm stuffing a turkey, seriously, I'm mashing potatoes instead, because they start at, that 5 to 6, you get this and blah, blah, blah.
Explain that for
Turn
a
the ringer
second,
off.
because there could be people on here like, what are you talking about the time thing? It's,
Okay. It's a thing where between 5 and 5:59 a.m. they get X% off. From 6 and 6:59 they get a little less off. From 7 to 7:59 they get a little less off. And I take it up till about 9 o'clock, and then after that it's a blanket whatever percent. I don't know I can't remember what those percents are, but they're already saved in my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy, it's straightforward, and I turn my computer off, iPad, ringer, everything off, because that's our holiday
Mhm.
until So first couple of years, it's $300, $400, $500. Then it turned to $600 or $700, and then it went over 1,000, and I'm like, dang it! All right, let's do this.
I have a question. Kathy, what are you, and I know we've gone a little past our 30 minutes, but I just want to wrap up. What products are you most excited about this season that you see yourself really promoting the most? What will you stock up on?
I love doing the charcoal masks with the fun fuzzy headbands that you can get on Amazon in those gorgeous Peter's Packaging boxes. I have always done the fuzzy socks and the Mint Bliss. I try to keep it at regular line product if I'm going to quote unquote mass produce it, but I don't mass produce it, maybe 3 or 4 per. And then I can always go back and do more if I need to. But I do like those little hand creams and lip glosses. I like those
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
those cute little sets.
Yes, but I'm not going to
Great.
go nutty about packing them up. If I find a cute box to put them in at the dollar store, I'll grab them. But you know, they're cute like they are.
I think it'd be really fun personally to have a virtual mingle and jingle as our units. I
Mhm.
think that'd be very fun to invite people on and
Yep.
kind of work it that way so that maybe you're pretty new either to the business or to having an open house, but you know you could get people to tune in at a certain time. That could be
Yep.
kind of fun. I'd love to pick your brain about that sometime,
Yeah,
Kathy.
I would love to do that. That would be
Maybe
another
you and
option
Teresa
that
and
you
I
could drip on them.
could host
That would be
something like
another
that.
thing, another piece. If you strategically plan it when this thing is going to be, then you know that's another piece. Can't make it? Join us here.
I love this year. I don't feel so guilty. I always set up my beautiful open house and none of my New Jersey customers can come.
Right.
So I love this year that it's everybody. We're all going to have
Everybody's virtual. Yeah.
It's just fantastic. So
No,
I'm excited.
absolutely.
Well, what I'm taking away from this, I don't know about you guys, but it's communication is what Kathy really kicked up. It's not so much the whatever product or promotion that you're doing. It's that people know that you will be their gift source
Mhm.
and you don't worry about bugging them. You just get it out there because the squeaky wheel gets the grease apparently. And I'd like $6,000 worth of grease.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Any
so-
other questions before we let Kathy go? Betty has one. Betty, let me unmute you. Well, you have to unmute yourself. Are you, yeah, you're still muted, Betty. Betty, you're muted, honey. Okay.
All right. When you do the 5% rebate, do they just get that today when you do
Yes.
the open house?
Yes, they have
Like
to be, they have to be present to get it.
Okay, so I mean, you don't, if they can't get there and they come on the Black Friday, do they still get it or they have to get it during the open house?
No, no, no. In fact, I say as a value customer, you are entitled to an additional blank toward your purchase at the open house.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to extend that
That's in
thing for the
addition
whole month,
to,
the 20%.
that's in
if they come on
addition
early
to
bird.
discount. Kathy, do you do, and again, we don't need to trip over all these details, but I'm like, oh, how does she do it? So they save 20% on the early bird, but on Friday and Saturday, is there really any discount? They just get their rebate.
Yep, yep.
And if they're not one of your top 30 to 50%,
They
just
don't get a
come.
letter.
Okay.
And quite frankly, over the years, you can look at the ones who actually come and
Mhm.
you can, you can determine who you should be sending mailers to and not. It doesn't have to be with somebody who just bought a lip gloss 3 years ago. You know what I mean?
True. And you do have a discount table. You
But
said
do
your
you
heart.
also,
Pardon?
The discount, you have a discount table.
I do. It's all
Like Hearth.
discontinued product and everything on the Hearth is 50% off. And I do not do an additional 20% on that
Okay.
because they're already getting it at half price. And they know that. It's very well, the signage is pretty clear.
Okay.
so do you also target new customers to invite or do you just stick with your customers?
No, I invite
You target
anybody. Everybody wants to come.
Good. Yeah, that's what was unclear. So but you do mail out the invitation, but only your top get the
Yeah.
rebate.
The invitation, okay, this invitation that I'm talking about is their customer rebate letter. So
Gotcha.
this invitation does not necessarily go to Susie Q who bought a lip gloss 8 months ago. that I don't remember who she
Because
is.
5% of that's going to be what?
Well, yeah, and nothing.
90
I
cents?
mean,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't. So here's another thing. Ask yourself, what would cause me to get out the door and go?
Right, right. So the letter only goes to those getting a rebate. Everybody else is text, email,
Yes.
Facebook. And is it Facebook on your business
My
page
customer.
or your private page?
My private
Your
customer page.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Private customer page. The video, everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Good.
Great.
You made me think of something when you talked about the election and everything. I just want to make a broad statement. This is just, I have nobody in mind on this, but I think we do need to be careful as business women about posting things that are very, very political. It doesn't take much for someone to say, well, I'm not going to buy from her because I disagree with her. And I think, we certainly have the freedom and the right to do that. I think you should think carefully before posting those types of things. Be apolitical. Just be a Mary Kay chick. Mary Kay herself, I never really knew her political persuasion. So I think we need to be careful. We're a very divided country right now, and I think we should be the fun posts and the fun, positive types of things. So good on all of you. That's good.
I agree.
Kathy, thank you so much. I would love to have you back sometime soon.
Well, do it when I can actually get my hair fixed.
I see Shelly and Priscilla. Aren't you proud of your director?
Yeah, I am. Thank you. Oh, I just lost my hat. Okay. Well,
Oh,
there we
you
go.
look cute. And so we'll talk more, Kathy, and about getting you all involved with us. We love having you join us any Tuesday night that you'd like to, or any Saturday morning. Lots of opportunities there. So I will do a drawing from our attendees as soon as we get off, but our time has gone 10 minutes over. So thanks you guys for spending 40 minutes with us tonight. And here's to a great holiday selling season.
Amen.
And to setting your dates, deciding what products you're going to be excited about, get them ordered as soon as you can, and start that drip. Get your things ready to go out starting October 1st.
Yep.
Talk to your director if you need some advice on this, on how to do them.
Yeah,
Okay?
great.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.